Oh yeah, look at that interface. Good thing you weren't expecting some kind of professionally put together paper magic video. That would be pretty disappointing, huh? Hello and welcome to the final match of the August 22 Pauper Duel Commander Tournament hosted by Naptown Hustle. At the top of your screen you have the Great Hatfield Train Disaster, the EDH, piloting Bloodbraid Elf, versus at the bottom of your screen Wirox, a shady half-elf we assume, who is piloting Loyal Apprentice. I'd like to be very clear right from the top that the EDH is my brother, but rest assured there will be no biased commentary towards this Boris Johnson-esque buffoon. Wirox won the die roll, they each mulled to 6, so let's get on with this whooping already.
Wirox opens with a snow-covered mountain, taps it for a frenzied goblin, and passes turn. Alex opens with a snow-covered mountain and another goblin with haste, pays for it after resolving it, and then swings for 1, where it goes to 24. Pass turn to Wirox. Wirox plays another snow-covered mountain and casts his Loyal Apprentice. Alex says it resolves. Go to combat, create a Thopter token from the Loyal Apprentice's ability, and Wirox swings for 4. Alex takes beans. Wirox courteously reminds Alex to take commander damage because it's super relevant in this matchup. On Alex's turn, he untaps, draws a card, oof, finds he doesn't have a mountain, goes oof for a while longer, and then passes the turn. Better lucky than good, but in Alex's case, he doesn't get either. Wirox untaps, draws a card, thinks for a while, plays a Sunscorched Desert, pinging Alex for 1, and then moves to combat. Loyal Apprentice creates another Thopter token. Observe the log carefully for the Loyal Apprentice token which got created and then sneakily exiled. Eventually a Thopter token gets created. He also casts Stagger Shock, removing the blocking goblin. Stagger Shock goes to rebound, and he swings for 5. Alex takes beans, and then takes his turn. Alex draws another card. He's got a Firebolt, great, but he doesn't have any mountains. Sad times, pass turn. Wirox's Stagger Shock resolves, again in upkeep, pinging Alex for 2. Then he goes to main, plays a snow-covered mountain, and recasts the Loyal Apprentice. Moving straight to combat, Loyal Apprentice creates another Thopter token, and Wirox swings for many beans. Alex takes beans, commences dying phase. Alex draws a card, finally finds a mountain, too little too late, because he's a massive noob. Casts an Incinerate on Loyal Apprentice just to show off that it was a hand worth keeping, just didn't find any lands. That's what he tried to tell us anyway. Wirox casts a Magma Jet, burning Alex for 2, and Alex decides to concede there. Ugh, well, I mean I recorded this clip like about 100 times about being like, oh, well, mana screw, oh, bad luck, huh? Yeah, we can call it bad luck, you know, or we can just agree that, you know, my brother's not the best of brightest of pennies in the fountain, you know. So, yeah, leave it at that. Game 1 to Wirox. Surprise. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. Anyway, game 2. Alex decides to be on the play game 2. Starts off with a tap land, passes turn. Loyal Apprentice, terrifyingly, plays a mountain and then a Lotus Petal. Taps and sacks the Lotus Petal to turn 1 cast the Loyal Apprentice. Wirox immediately jumps to combat, starts creating a Thopter token and swings without giving Alex a chance to actually have a pretty good response. Alex, before combat, exiles a Simian Spirit Guide for a Galvanic Blast on the Loyal Apprentice. No, I won't say it often. He doesn't do good plays often, but that might have been a good play. I don't know. Don't ask me. Wirox passes turn, back to Alex. Alex untaps. Plays a forest. There's actually green in this deck. Who knew? And an angry dog. He passes turn back to Wirox. Wirox untaps. Draws a card. Takes a little time mulling it over. Reminds Alex to put Bloodbraid Elf in a command zone, while I remind Alex to actually start the game on 25 life. Eventually, Wirox plays a Mardu Scout without the dash. Just a 3-1 surfing goblin. Passes back to Alex. Alex untaps, draws a card, plays a mountain during his draw step, and then proceeds to attack. He swings for 3, and Wirox doesn't block, taking 3. Post combat, it's that goblin again! Alex passes back to Wirox. Wirox untaps, plays another mountain, pays 1 for a firebolt. Somehow he targeted the javelin here. I didn't see any arrows, I didn't cut anything here, but somehow they both knew. Psychic connection, I guess. Wirox passes turn with 2 open mana. Alex untaps, draws, plays another mountain during his draw step, casts a Bloodbraid Elf during his draw step, and then asks permission to cascade. Wirox says okay, so Alex flips, finds Skewer to Critics, which he points at the Mardu Scout. That all resolves. Mardu Scout goes bye-bye, Bloodbraid Elf comes in, and Alex goes to combat. Swinging in for 6, Wirox doesn't fancy that, so he casts Lash Out, targeting the Bloodbraid Elf. On resolution, each player clashes. Wirox reveals a Furnace Scamp, and Alex reveals a Burst Lightning with a silly Cockatrice artwork. For anyone who doesn't know, get good, scrub. Wirox puts the Scamp to the bottom of his library, while Alex mulls over his decision. Thinking, I'm a nice brother. Alex passes turn after leaving the Burst Lightning on the top of his library. Wirox untaps, spends a little time mulling it over again, plays another mountain, and the Loyal Apprentice. Alex gives it the green light, Loyal Apprentice goes to combat, creates that Thopter, thinks a little while longer about what to swing with. He swings with everything for 3 damage. Alex takes beans. Pass back to Alex. Alex untaps, draws a card, and finally moves out of his draw step to go to combat. Wirox takes 3, and a second main. Alex plays the Burst Lightning, targeting the Loyal Apprentice. Loyal Apprentice gets burned. Pass back to Wirox. Wirox untaps, draws a card, spends a little more time mulling over his decision. Eventually, there was quite a lot edited there, he decides to just pass his turn with 5 mana up. Alex untaps, draws a card, goes straight to combat, and swings with the Hound. Wirox blocks with the Thopter. Thopter dies, so does the dog. Post-combat, the dog escapes, angrier, with a +1/+1 counter. Alex passes back to Wirox. Wirox draws a guard, plays a mountain, taps all 6 of them to recast Loyal Apprentice for the 3rd time. Moving to combat, Loyal Apprentice creates that Thopter, and he swings with just the Thopter. Alex takes 1 in the air, and Wirox passes turn. Alex untaps, draws a card, thinks for a while, and then undoes his draw, revealing a Thunderous Wrath. Wasting all of that damage on a Loyal Apprentice. Obviously a noob move, clearly should have just drawn a Stagger Shot or a Lava Dart, but he's a massive noob, so that happened. Alex taps a bunch of land, and then untaps a bunch of land, being confused and not all that bright. He eventually goes to combat because he has to, not because he wants to, and the dog goes slaps Wirox for 4. Post-combat, Alex casts Mayhem Patrol without the blip, and then passes turn. Wirox untaps, draws a card, and casts Flame Slash, targeting the dog. Sorry, doggy. Pull me back. Wirox goes to combat with the Thopter, looping for one in the air. Alex untaps, draws a card, moves straight to combat, and swings the Mayhem Patrol. After some faffing around with Cockatrice, he manages to temporarily change its power and toughness to 2-2 after it buffs itself. Wirox takes 2, and Alex passes the turn back. On Wirox's turn, he untaps, draws a card, and moves straight to combat. Thop, in for 1. Post-combat, he plays a 7th mountain and passes turn. Alex untaps, goes to draw step, and then straight to combat. Mayhem Patrol gets in for 2. Wirox takes the damage, and Alex passes back. In Alex's end step, Wirox casts Incinerate, targeting the Mayhem Patrol, and the little devil dead. Wirox untaps, draws a card, and moves to combat with the Thopter. Alex figures out that 16 minus 1 is 15. Well done, you. End step, the Thopter gets burned, and so does Wirox for 1. Alex untaps, draws a card, taps a bunch of mana, and plays a Pirate. Pirate gives him Monarchy. In end step, Alex draws a card for the Monarchy, slightly shortcutting the opportunity for Wirox to interfere before the card draw. Wirox casts Scred, blowing up the Crimson Fleet Commodore, and then takes his turn. Wirox untaps, draws a card, and then passes turn back. Alex untaps, draws a card, and then casts an Experiment 1. Passing back to Wirox. Monarchy trigger, he asks permission this time. Wirox draws a card on his turn. Taps a bunch of mountains. And casts a Goblin Freerunner. Moves to end step. And Alex suspiciously taps a bunch of mana for a Stagger Shock, killing the Goblin and rebounding the Stagger Shock. Upkeep, Stagger Shock shocks Wirox for 2. Alex goes to draws a card, plays a Jewel Thief, still during draw step. Evolve trigger on the Experiment 1, pumps it to a 2-2, and Alex gets in for 2. Still during combat, Alex casts a Lightning Strike to finish the job. Playing all of his outs, Wirox plays the magnificent move of stinging himself to draw a card in case of that red fog. He doesn't find one. Well, just goes to show that anyone can get unlucky. No, in seriousness, that was a fairly good game. I did quite enjoy all the free stuff right at the beginning, and the doggy that kept coming back and back and back again. And how he didn't play the doggy when he could have, but he wanted to hold up mana for Stagger Shocking. Fine, that it might have been legitimate magicking, but I'm pretty sure it was just luck because he's a giant noob. Anyway, that makes it 1 to Wirox and a point to Alex somehow. I don't know how, but it's a tie so far. So the final game, round 3. Hope you're ready. Here we go. And Wirox is on the play. Starts with Mountain and passes turn back to Alex. Alex draws a card, spends a good long time thinking, and plays a Mountain. And then he plays an insolent little Neonate. Fine, yeah, okay, cast an insolent Neonate. Alright, fine. Insolent bastard. Loyal Apprentice's turn. Plays the Loyal Apprentice. Wirox goes to combat, creates a Thopter, and boops with the Thopter. Passes turn back to Alex. Alex untaps, draws a card, thinks about it for a while, and then plays a forest. For perhaps the first time in the game, a valid play during the draw step, Alex plays an instant, killing Loyal Apprentice and burning Wirox for 2. Then gets in for 1 with the Neonet and passes turn. Wirox untaps and draws a card, goes straight to combat and goes in with the Thopter. Alex gets booped for 1. Post combat, Wirox casts the Ashino Pyromancer, burning Alex for 2 on ETB. Passes turn back. Alex untaps, draws a card, plays a mountain, and then taps 2 for a Viridian Emissary. Goes to combat with an Insolent Neonet, and I eventually remembered to move the mouse over the Emissary so you can know what it does. Wirox on his turn goes straight to combat and gets in with the Thopter. Post combat, he plays a 4th mountain, thinks for a little while, taps the mountain, thinks for a while longer, and then casts a Chain Lightning, targeting Alex's face. Alex takes 3 and is sad that he can't copy it back. Wirox then casts Curse of the Pierced Heart, targeting Alex. Not himself, for some mad reason. Wirox passes turn, and in end step, that stupid burst lightning again goes and blows up a Pyromancer. Oh look, I was smart enough to show you the Oracle text. On Alex's turn, he untaps and draws a card, spends a little while thinking, and then moves straight to combat. He swings for 3 damage, and in response, Wirox spreads the Viridian Emissary. Emissary gets kaboomed, triggering on death. Alex gets to search the library for a snow-covered mountain, which he puts into the battlefield tapped. Wirox takes 1 damage from the Neonet. Post-combat main phase, Alex plays a forest and a basking root boller. Passing turn back to Wirox. On Wirox's turn, he untaps, picks up a cardio, plays a mountain. No, he doesn't. He sends a turn. What is this unprofessional commentary? Dreadful. You should ask for your money back. Anyway, Alex presumably remembered to draw a card. He untapped his stuff. Still playing a Bloodbraid elf during his draw phase, obviously. Starts to cascade, finds a blazing volley, which he can't legally cast because we're still in the draw step. It's also the saddest blazing volley you'd ever see. Post-draw phase, he plays a Teetering Peaks, which gives +2/+0 to the Bloodbraid elf, then goes to combat, swings with all the stuff, and Wirox Magma Jets the Bloodbraid elf. Wirox takes 2 to the other creatures, and then Alex passes to Wirox. On Wirox's turn, he untaps and draws a card, taps a bunch of mountains, and recasts the Loyal Apprentice. Asking permission to go to combat, Alex says okay, and prepares himself for a Thoptery beating. Wirox gets in with all of his creatures for 3 damage, and Alex takes the damage. Wirox passes turn. Would be a great time for a blazing volley. Alex has a Searing Spear instead, blowing up the Loyal Apprentice. Wirox courteously reminds Alex to take damage from the Curse of the Pierced Heart. He presumably remembered to do more often than not, and Alex pumps his Basking Root Waller, getting in for 4 damage. Alex passes back. Wirox untaps, draws, and passes turn. And Alex untaps and draws. Feeling confident, he taps 6 for a Bloodbraid elf. Being reminded to take another damage to the Curse of the Pierced Heart. Not his fault. He's not all that bright. Alex cascades into that Stagger Shock again, which he targets the Thopter. Stagger Shock then goes to Graveyard because we're special. Alex moves to combat and gets in for 5. He's feeling pretty confident up to this point. He's about to not feel so confident. Wirox casts Brimstone Volley, targeting Alex in the face for 5 damage, thanks to the Morbid. Both players are beginning to sweat. Wirox deliberates, tapping that last mountain for one other spell, but decides not to do anything. Alex goes to end step, and then, in the end step, still deliberating, Wirox casts a lightning bolt, targeting Alex's face. Sweats. Wirox's turn, he untaps, draws a card, prays it's a good one, and then reveals a Fanatical Firebrand. It was probably hard for Alex to figure out that was, game, but it was. Well folks, we did it. About a month and a half after the tournament ended, I managed to record a video. Woohey! Thank you all for watching. Please, if you'd like to know anything more about Pauper Duel Commander, check out PDH Home Base or find us on Discord. Thank you. P.S. Alex is a noob.